I don't know what's going on. I've just suddenly thought, but I'm here now. But I'm so cold. I came in here and I was like, no, can't. I checked the weather. The weather is apparently 0 degrees, 0 degrees centigrade, but it feels like -4. I would say it feels like even colder than that. To be honest, it is cold, cold, so cold. So very cold. Thank you very much for one like for not doing anything at all. I feel a little bit ill. I'm not on the ball. But you're here now, and so am I. And it's the new year now. Oh, yes, it is. It's the new year. Oh, it was last year, last time I saw you. And now it's this year. Of course, it is always this year. No matter what year you're in, it's always this year while you're in it. It's not last year and it's not next year. It's always this year is always this year. This year is always this year. This year is never next year. Next year is never this year. Exactly. You can go around, you can come around. Everywhere you are, you'll be there. Every time you go around a corner, you won't see yourself because you're already around there. You can't see around the corner unless you're around the corner. Unless you've got a periscope or something like that, or a big mirror. And then hello everyone. Hello Philip. Hello Eric Ingle. Hello everyone. It is the new year 2024, unless you're watching this in another year, and then it's not. Then it's not. I feel very strange. I don't know what's happened really. I just got out of the room and look. It's like, oh, am I going to make it to this live stream? I'm like, yes, I'm going to make it. Dr. Theatre, if this is theatre, I suppose you can call it theatre. I suppose you can. Hello, everybody. Am I going down with something? I don't know. I haven't been anywhere except for the post office and the pharmacist. I suppose that's 2 places that you're likely to get something from. So that's probably on me. That's all I've been to, though. I made food today. I had a corn roast. Maybe it was the corn roast. Very rich, those corn roasts. I don't know where the corns grow. The corns grow on the moon. Of course, it's mycoprotein, which is, what's mushroom based? It's not. It's like mold that's scraped from the inside of a barrel. So that's probably what the problems come from. Corn. Wow, what an invention. Woo! Don't eat meat. Eat mycoprotein. What are mushrooms and mycos anyway? Mycoprotein. See, the evolutionary, if you believe in evolution, which of course I do, the evolutionary process means that the mushrooms and the fungi split off before the animals and the plants, really. So it's a totally different branch of evolution. They are alien things. Everything is based on mold. They're going to get us in the end. They're the dominant life form in the universe, so they probably didn't think that it was very nice that I pretended that they were a roast and ate them all up. It was nice. It tasted just like real mycos. Mycoprotein. So, yeah, it could be that. That could very well be the reason where I'm feeling a little bit... it could... Because I had like I'm sort of doing veganuary, except corn isn't vegan. I'm not doing veganuary, but I'm going towards there. There were special offers in the supermarkets if you got vegan-y food and vegetarian food. So I'm doing vegetarian, semi-vegetarian-y January. So it's I'm not really. A bit more than usual, but I've sort of been semi-vegetarian for the past ever such a long time, since I was about 16, so it's not really big. I dip in and out of it. But yes, so quite a lot of vegetarian food in my freezer, and I had a dairy-free gingerbread dessert and felt very ill after that, so maybe it was that. Those gingerbreads will get you every time. Not really ginger, not really bread. Gingerbread without the bread or the ginger is just, it's nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing to be had. A few years ago, after one of the Christmas sales, I bought a gingerbread house, what I thought was a gingerbread house that you put together, and I realised it was a gingerbread house kit, which basically consisted of a couple of pieces of cardboard that and some gluten-free flour in a bag and possibly some jelly beans or something. Anyway, that stayed in my. It was like, even though I bought it after the Christmas, it was still, the date was good for another year or two. But I didn't use it. In fact, I didn't actually open the box until when I was moving, which was in November, and realised, because I was disappointed because I thought the gingerbread bits were there and you just had to put them together, but you had to make it yourself, and I couldn't be bothered, and I never could get round to it. So I never made a gingerbread house, but it was very simple as well. I could have just made this myself, but I didn't. Obviously, I didn't. I did not make it, but the pieces of they were just like pieces of card with like triangular shapes on them. It's like, so you just put them together like that, two triangular shaped pieces, like roof pieces, and two on the end. It's like, well, I didn't need a kit to make that. I could just make that myself, but I didn't. I didn't. But I could have done, but I didn't. And that's the thing. Everywhere you go, you find yourself very lazy. That's how I find myself. Oh, one thing I did do today is I applied to go to Edinburgh with a show, and immediately, because I'm in a position of great power, immediately gave myself a venue and a time for the show. So I'm going to Edinburgh. Yeah. Ha ha! Go me! Manifestation! Oh, I think I should do that. And so I do. But getting the money and the wherewithal and the actual theme is a totally different thing. When in Edinburgh, as if Edinburgh is a time. It is a time. It's a place, but it's also a time. In the Festival Fringe, which is from the 3rd to the 3rd of August to 3 weeks after that, whatever that is. So just before September. So the 3rd, and then 3 weeks on top of that for 28th. It's about 30th, I think. Something like that. Can't work it out. But yeah. 3 Saturdays and Sundays. 3 Mondays. 3 Wednesdays and Thursdays. 3 Thursdays. Yeah. And but it's going to be I've put it in as what is it you want? So it's the same as what I do online and stuff. So it's going to be a mix. I've got a couple of different shows that it's like, I could do this show for you that I've already prepared, or we could just play around. And the venue that I've got is one that I don't feel any great pressure. It's big enough that if it filled out, it would be great. But it's interesting because it's in the basement of a food shop, and they make pizzas out the back. And while you're doing your show, if you're in the way, they'll go straight past you in your show. So a lot of people don't want this venue because it's like, I don't want somebody walking past me making pizzas when I'm doing my show. But if you do it properly, you can make a little aisle around them. So it's also to control the narrative and to make sure that the pizzas are delivered. Because even though I'm gluten-free, I want people to get their pizzas good and timely manner. I've gone and seen shows in this venue, and you can hear them making the pizza because they've left the door open. It's quite loud, but this is going to be part of it. I'm not worried. It's quite a dingy, dark basement with quite a lot of seats. That's a good thing, and a good stage space, but it's quite dark, and it's quite gloomy, quite a low ceiling, and people are making pizza with audio soundtracks of the pizza being made, so you probably smell the pizza and you can see the pizza going through, and that would be part of it. So I'm not worried about that. A lot of people are divas and they go, can do a show in these circumstances, but there are people that had this particular venue last year and are quite happy to come back this year, because we are right down in the rubble, trying to sort things out, making sure that we don't care about pizzas being made in the middle of our stage. That is part and parcel of it. So if I get a full house of people, waiting for their pizza, that's good. If nobody comes, that's the thing, because I've also, it's this particular venue, I've had burritos and things in it upstairs. Not a burrito, I had nachos or something. So it's good. It's nice food. It's the people that are the nice people in the staff, but they don't honestly care what I do. So as long as they get their pizza delivered, I can do what I want. So it's ideal, really. And so I can do anything. I mean, I could write a whole different show and do that show. I could still do that. But it's 8 months I've got to write a show. So I could do that. I could do that. Will I, though? I don't know. Will I? Will I? Will I? Oh, whoa, will I? Will I? I could, if I wanted to. Who even knows? Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So this week, I've mostly been sort of thinking about the future and not really getting very far with it, going, no, ooh, And actually, if you've gone on my other site, there has been a future. I've predicted the future. Now, I haven't uploaded it here because I've mainly made it for Pear-Shaped in Dystopia, which is the online comedy show that's run by Brian, Damage and Crystal, who've gone to Australia and weren't going to do it anymore. But now I've decided that. So time differences means that it's not as practical as it was to do it live, because they're in Australia and some of the people that are in it are in California and America. Some of them are in Britain. Difficult to do that live because you're all over the place with times and stuff. So we're sort of staggering it and having dress rehearsals. I had dress rehearsal this morning, so so I've already submitted that video for that. So that's when it will be available at the end of the month. I think the end of the month. It will be the first of the 2024 Pear-Shaped in Dystopia. And so I've done that. And also the video is available on my Patreon if you're that. And I might put it as a members only thing here. And then release it after it's gone out. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, it is available still to see. You can see it at the moment, but it will be available free to see. Although you can also pay Brian, Damage and Crystal. It's a sort of pay what you want sort of thing. Or not. Don't have to pay anything, but there is like a little QR code at the end, and you can if you want. And that gets fed through. So if they make more than £5, they might share it all amongst us. That'll be nice, won't it? And I can make some money from that. But yeah, so that's it. It's like making money. My mum's like, you should sign on. It's like, no, because I've done that in the past and it's horrible. And I think it's a good thing to do if you need to do it. But at the moment, I'm just like, I should find something to do that's going to pay me. Or I could just hide in a cave. I don't know where any caves are, unfortunately. If I did, that would be ideal. Yeah, go back to Paleolithic times. There's a thing about digging called by Alice Roberts, who's got pink hair now, used to be blonde, is presenting it, and she kept saying the Mesolithic era, and I'm like, is it the Mesolithic era? You'd think she'd know, being a historian, but I don't think she does, because I'm pretty sure it's the Mesolithic era, and a lot of people, I've looked it up, and I can't find any evidence it's ever called Mesolithic. It's like Mesoamerican. Is it Mesoamerican, not Meso? Meso soup. Mesoamerican soup. Mesolithic times. Miso soup times. I don't think miso soup is pronounced that, but meso is M-E-S-O and miso is M-I-S-O. So that doesn't make sense. Anyway, I don't know. It's like there was another Lucy, what's her name? Worsley. Lucy Worsley did a program about Neanderthals. And you can pronounce Neanderthals or Neanderthals. But she pronounced it, I can't remember, but it was somewhere not quite either of those things. And it was a bit weird. And it's like, why are you saying you're an expert on this when you're saying things weird? Now, mispronunciation is all well and good. And I don't want to care counter anyone or contradict anyone. It's like, oh, you do that, you say it that way. That's all fine. Don't want to be a snob about it, but you're supposed to be an expert. And that's very strange. Are you? I don't know. Because I know somebody, I went to college with somebody, he was in the last year when I was in the first year, called Dallas Roberts, who presents all sorts of scientific things. Now, he was studying drama at my college, so it's like, so he's a scientific expert. He's like the natural successor to David Attenborough and other well, David Attenborough is also not really qualified for being a naturalist, but we take his word for it because he's very authoritative. Anyway, Dallas Roberts, is that his name? Anyway, he's very much the same. He's very good and very convincing, but he did study drama. I was in a short film with him where it's called Burning Bright. Somebody was making it in order to try and get a job at the BBC, and we did it, and he was the lead and I was a sort of extra stroke continuity person, and I played a nurse in it. He was visiting like an elderly relative and I played a nurse in it, so I was like, but I said, oh, because I knew lots of nurses at the time, I would go and I can get a nurse's uniform and I can borrow that, and I did. But the thing is, those nurses' uniforms don't have the hats, because nurses don't wear hats, and they don't have the little watches, and they're just basically sort of white dress, button-up dress things. So I came with this actual nurse's uniform from actual nurses, and the person that was directing it was very disappointed. It was like, and he was like he didn't really want me to play the nurse, but it's like, this is an actual genuine nurse's uniform, you know. You'd look silly if you had somebody with like a hat and a little watch, upside down watch. That's not what nurses look like anymore. Sorry, but you know, pretend genuineness is very much more convincing than actual, real, or authoritative, authentic realness. Authentic realness doesn't look real, but pretend realness, oh, that's really real. Yeah. Pretend. Pretend. That's what you need to do. Nursing, yes. Oh, yes, I wish that a nurse was here to take away my pain, because to be honest, I'm feeling a bit better than I was, because of reasons, but I was, it's like, oh, yeah, but yeah, oh, but it's so cold. It's a bit less cold now, and maybe it's because I'm talking to you, and the warmth of you comes through my screen, back at me. That's what it is. So yeah, so that's what I've done. You know, I have got video available, but not quite here. I keep meaning to put stuff up, but I'm just like I've been meaning to go to Cardiff for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to film like the new canal thing. Have I? No, because it's really, I was actually this week, a friend's, somebody passed away from my school, and I knew well, and I was gonna go to their memorial service, but I was going to get a lift, but the lift fell through no fault of the lift giver. They were still going to it, but they couldn't give me a lift because they were doing something else and it wouldn't have worked out. So I thought, I can get public transport, but no, public transport would have been like, I think a few of them were like 2 trains and 3 buses and 20-minute walk. The shortest one was like 3 buses and 2 walks, but it was all out, it was quite far away, and it was like, because it was 11:50, which isn't that early in the morning, but it is when you don't know when the buses are coming, and you have to get about 5 of them, and you're not entirely sure where to go, and then on the other side there's a 20-minute walk, and it was like, so I thought I was going to go to that, but I didn't go to that, and I feel quite bad about that. But on the other hand, it was going to take a long time, and yeah, so I was sort of sad at home rather than sad there. So it took a long time to get there. And now Cardiff is slightly less buses, but it's still at least two buses. But the thing about Cardiff, you don't have to be there at a specific time. You can sort of saunter towards it, and it's a big thing. It's not like it's not like a small area. You just go to any bit of it, and wherever you end up, that's where you end up. So it's like, that's fine. So I should still go there. My nephews went there apparently yesterday, and they visited us afterwards. That was nice, having some visitors, new faces and stuff. But because they had Christmas money, they had money and they needed to spend it, and who can blame them? So they took a little while to get there and back, and I didn't go with them because I didn't know they were going, and I probably wouldn't have been welcome because I'm not really. I mean, who wants to hang about with their old auntie when they're teenagers? They don't, do they? No. So. It would have been a bit stupid, really, for doing that. So I need to go on my own, because I'm an independent person and stuff. But it's so cold and horrible. It's so bad and horrible and nasty. So I need to do that. I was going to film it. So I need to do that. I did have an idea that one of my nephews one of them's doing acting, but I suppose I could film him acting or something, and the other one's doing media, so I could get them to film stuff for me. I'd have to pay them, really, because I'm not like really into making people do stuff for free, really. If you're doing a job, so I need to find the money to I'll set up my own film business and employ them as my apprentices. A family business, that's what I'll do. Yeah, could do that. Did do that. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen this week either. It's just like, you make plans, and then it's like, oh, because I've been gearing up for like the end of the year, and then the new year, Doctor Who and stuff like that, and now that's gone. Ooh I need to burp. That's probably what the problem is. Yeah, so now it's 2024, and I've got absolutely no clue what to do. So it's just as well that I've put future plans in place, so that I've actually got something to work for and look forward to, and that is Edinburgh. My Edinburgh plans. Hooray! I need to write a show. Am I going to write a show? Probably no. Probably just improvise it again, because there's less pressure because of the venue with the pizzas. Because I would feel guilty going in somewhere that depended on me to get them all lots of people in, so that they could have a thriving business. No, yes, that's good, but I think their business is going to run very well with or without me. The people will want the pizzas, and me being there is very much little to do with it. Doesn't matter whether I'm there or not, so it's less pressure. I'm not bringing them in. I'm not packing them in. I'm not packing them in. I'm just going to go. And so maybe when I'm flying, I'll go, come to see my show and buy a pizza. Maybe I'll bribe people with pizzas. Free pizza with my show. As long as you give me 50 quid in my bucket. Pizza, I'll buy you a pizza out of whatever you give me. Give me some money in my donation bucket, and you can have some of it back to buy a pizza. Bribing them with their own money. Why has nobody thought about that before? It's because it's bizarre and that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so yes, come and buy a pizza and also see a show. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure they will. But yes, it was, what did I have? I don't know. The nachos were very good there. It's a very good nacho shop. I used to have, and when I went to Edinburgh, there was all sorts of places doing nachos. It's not as fashionable now. So this place does good nachos because you don't have to pay, and they get guacamole with it. And sometimes you have to pay extra, and it was like only like 4 quid, and you got all of the stuff. I was like, I can't believe it. I get all of that. I get all of the stuff and salsa too. Oh, amazing. You're really spoiling me. I get all of the stuff. All of the stuff that you sometimes have to pay a lot extra for. Ooh, yeah. Didn't get refried beans. I think you might have. I don't think they do refried beans because it's not a genuine Mexican place, really. Don't think any of the staff were from anywhere near America. No. Yeah. So it's a nice, good place. It's a bit weird, to be honest. I'm not naming it because I don't want to name check it for being weird, but it is a bit weird. But they do nice food and it's relaxed. It's a good space. You have to, it is what you make of it. And that's the secret to life. Oh, there's nothing there, you go. But you make it what you want it to be. So the less there is, the more you've got, the more opportunity and potential to shape your own life and the future. To do what you want. So I probably have to buy, I think I might have to buy a light. I'll buy a light and I'll bring a projector and I'll let everyone use my projector and my lights so everybody has a good show, because that was one thing that was lacking last year was a projector and a light, because you're like, oh, I can't see anything, but there's a big blank wall, and as long as we don't shine it on the man with the pizza and he can go around the back, as long as we don't do that, then it should be all good. Yeah, I think there might be a TV screen. Could be. No, I think somebody had a projector because I went to see a show that had projection. Anyway, we'll have 2 projectors in that case. They can bring one and I will bring one. And I will borrow their screen or project it on the back wall. So that'll be good. So the one that I had last year was technically had all the projecting. It had a big back screen and it had all the projection and all sorts, but I couldn't make it work. So it's not much good. It's all the perfect stuff, but you can't make it work. Whereas now I know that none of that is there, and so it's all in my hands. I have to make it from scratch. Which is what I would have done with the gingerbread house and made it very much better than the gingerbread house that I didn't make, which never got made and never got eaten and never got made and never got eaten. Where if I'd done it from scratch, then it would have been perfect. It would have been amazing. It would have been lovely. Oh, that's something else I found out. I remember having a really brilliant, wonderful birthday cake when I was 2 or 3. It was a brilliant birthday cake, and it was just before my brother was born, and it was amazing. My mum had made it. She couldn't have been that very well because she didn't have a good time with my brother when she was having him. So, but she made it a week before he was born even, and I remember it. It was brilliant. It was a chocolate castle, and it was amazing. And then the year after, I was like, I want a cake like that, and she was like, oh, and she obviously, retrospectively, I can see that she was probably tired with looking after a 1-year-old child by that time, my brother. But then I was like, found out some more information now. My mum got very angry that I was upset and said that I should be making a fuss. But I found out that my brother's christening, which was also my grown-up uncle and uncle's christening, he was born on the same day. They decided that they were going to get christened on the 6th of April, which is my birthday, it would have been my 4th birthday. And I found this out by, I saw the certificate, and I was like, the 6th of April. And I was like, I can't believe that you had this on my birthday, my 4th birthday. And my mum was like, why are you making such a fuss? Well, it's probably the only day we could get. It's like, if this was the only day you could get, then get another day. Don't do it. What's the big deal? My adult uncle had waited quite a long time for this, so there was no rush. My brother was 1. He could have waited just as long, I think, rather than ruining my birthday. I've always wondered why I don't like birthdays. I'm thinking, that's probably something to do with it. I never liked them. I had one birthday which was on Easter, and that was bad because everyone was getting chocolate eggs and stuff. And so I was like, I remember sitting, I was 6 or 7, I remember sitting on the stairs and crying And everyone's like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm not special. Something like that. It's very sad. And obviously, because my brother was born a week after my birthday, he gets all the parties. So we'd have joint parties, and they would be his party that I could come to too. Or I could invite some people to his party, which was also my party, because they doubled it up. But it was really his party, because he was the little baby. Now, I do sound terribly bitter, and you know why that is? It's because I am very, 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 very bitter. And I'm sorry, Mum, but I am. And I can't help it. It's just my emotional state. I'm just very, very, very bitter. Oh, that's terrible, Stephanie. Yes, nobody cares about your birthday except for you, It isn't their special day. Very, very bad for them. Now, I always felt sorry for my cousins who were born on the 23rd of December, because they always got Christmas and birthday presents together. So I felt bad for them, and I didn't know why I felt so bad for them, but then I realised that I feel bad for me as well, because not only is it my brother's birthday at the same time as mine, it's Easter as well, sometimes, and also my brother's christening party, that was also my uncle's christening party, the anniversary of their party. And also another cousin had a birthday the week after mine. Actually, the day after mine. So, everybody's more important than me. Everybody's more important than you. Nobody cares if it's your birthday. Nobody gives a fig at all. Sometimes you get presents at Christmas. Sometimes you get no presents at all. And I didn't. So yeah, it's my birthday coming up soon. I will be 105 million billion years old. Actual fact. Friend of mine did a TikToky video about how they looked old when they were 24 and now they look relatively young at 37. I was like, are you that old? I can't believe you're that. I still think of them as being 24, because yeah, they did look quite old at 24, but I still think of them as being 24, because it's like, you haven't changed. And they said, well, you haven't changed either. I was like, surely I have. It's like, I must have known them a long time, because that's a long time that I've known them. And they're still 24 to me, even though they do look their age. They are right. But what they said is that their dad still looks the same age now. It's like you get to a certain age and that's the age you stay at. Some people are like, some people look old when they're young, and some people look young when they're old. Some people look their age. I've generally got quite a young looking family. A lot of the people in my family are like, can't believe you're that age. Like my uncle came to visit, and my uncle looks like a spring chicken. Not the uncle that got the, unfortunately, the uncle that was baptised is no longer with us. Oh yeah, and another one this week. That's bad as well. Another one of my uncles. So I've lost another one. But I've got another one, because I've got a lot. My mum's got a very big family. So another one of my uncles looks like 40 or something, and he's nearing 80, and I can't believe that. It's like, so yeah, but some people look very, very old their whole life, and I look my age, which is 200 million years old, which is good, because then why get there when you're already there? Looking around the corner and there you are. Anyway, it's a lot warmer than it was. That's good. It doesn't feel like -4 anymore because of the warmth, as I said, the warmth of your love and generosity and being with me. So, yeah, remember to catch Pear Shaped in Dystopia at the end of the month. I'll let you know when that is, and that will be on Facebook, I think, and also on YouTube, and probably somewhere else as well. And also, I have a couple of exclusive things on Patreon. I'm a bit lazy about Patreon, but yeah, I do need to put that as membership only as well. So if you're a member here, then look out for that, because I need to sort that out, and then I will release it for everyone at some point in the future. Yeah, but I do need to make a lot more stuff, and I'm just so lazy, because I'm just like, what's the point? The point is you have to keep on going. That's the only point. So yes, thank you very much for joining me, and I love you all, and thank you for supporting me and being here with me. And now I'm gonna go and have a cup of tea or something. Yes, fair winds and favourable tides to you. Yes, special days, exactly. Nobody cares about your special day. Your special day is only special to you. And this is the special day for everyone. Hooray! Have a great year. And everyone, be lovely, be excellent to each other, to quote Bill and Ted. See you soon. Bye bye. See you next week.